Wow, there's a wild storm a brewing, and at the moment it's just raining hard. It's going to be torrential. The winds are going to be 60 miles an hour, gusts, maybe more, coastal flooding, the roads getting washed out, and so it's just this dramatic backdrop, and that may have something. Sorry, that may have something to do with the reading. I also wanted to say it's the new moon today, and new moons are good times to set, set the seeds of intention, things you desire to manifest, things you want to grow. And, so it's you can use the time. Sometimes you can, for instance, I occasionally do this, is write a list of my intentions and then burn the list outside safely in a little, to release it, because you set the intentions and then you release them. It's like you blow the dandelion seed, into the air, into the ether, into the thing we don't have control over. We do have control over, saying this is the direction I'd like to go, and then let the universe work it out. I mean, that doesn't mean we don't try or continue to refine what it is we're looking for, how we want to manifest it, but there's a big element of doing your part and then seeing what the universe will answer. And this is a Rilke quote. Quiet friend who has come so far, feel how your breathing makes more space around you. Let this darkness be a bell tower and you the bell. As you ring, what batters you becomes your strength. Move back and forth into the change. What is it like, such intensity of pain? If the drink is bitter, turn yourself into wine. In this uncontainable light, be the mystery at the crossroads. Great quote, let that sink in, but I wanted to just mention, because we talk a lot about the twin flame and the twin flame journey on many channels, that's kind of thrown around as kind of the promise of a big Valentine, I think twin flames, the most useful thing I've heard about those kind of relationships is that they're not easy. They're fraught. They're not the soft romantic thing. They're a rough ride that basically is, you come into relationship with this person or aren't able to teach both parties about themselves, about uncooked seeds, about what they need to learn, what they need to process in their karmic dilemma. It's shadow work. And it's not, it has that element of shadow and things we don't want to look at that are held up to us. It's there to show us, these kind of relationships, who we are. It's not about blaming the other guy or pathologizing how they communicate or how they relate to the world. It turns the attention back on us to do our own work. what was it? You know, you're the bell. As you ring, what batters you becomes your strength. What batters you becomes your strength. It isn't like, la, 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 I'm in love. Everything is one, you know. It's not the easy relationship. It may become that at some point, but man, you know, that's not what it's about. It's about do the work on yourself. Page of Cups. You know, that's kind of a tentative approach to love. It can be naive. It can be that, ooh, you know, oh boy, I have a boyfriend, and it's not going to be sweetness and light. It might be about sweetness and light, but it comes in like cupfuls, tentatively offered. You know, and you can see this guy is offering the cup, but his back foot is planted. You know, he's not walking forward with it. He's extending it, but there's this tentative quality of naivete or it's just youthful energy, page energy. Tell us about this offer, this Page of Cups. I mean, I'm being a little cynical about it, but well, it also delivers, there's a message here, and sometimes Knight of Swords is sharp. It can be a not very soft energy, and it's coming, well, it's interesting. I was saying it's coming toward this Page of Cups like, you know, I'm going to burst your bubble, naive little page. But on the table, it's actually moving away from the page. And the page might have offered love in a kind of naive way, and then, you know, like, it delivers a message that is quite sharp. Maybe when their sweet expectations were met with some kind of resistance. What's the truth? Okay. The truth, I was going to say, what's the truth that this message is bringing in? You held back. I held back. You know, maybe this love was offered and somebody was really stuck. They weren't giving or receiving. They were set in their ways. And this Page of Cups may have gone from like, you know, let's go on a date, to like, you know, screw your stubbornness. That's a quick turnaround. That's a pivot. You don't want my love, you know, up yours. Maybe not. What's the message, please, to this person who maybe is not open to receive, you know, either the message or the offer of love? Under Page of Cups, Star card. I mean, maybe this small gesture of love was a healing thing that somebody didn't accept. In sword energy, Aquarian energy. You know, it might be, you know, I offered this gesture of love. you responded with something sharp, sharp words, because Knight of Swords can mean that. So I'm not sure who, it may have been a back and forth situation. Somebody might have been pissed that their love offer was rebuked, was met with resistance. And the offer was extended, and this person rather sharply said, "Stay away from me. I'm not open to this." There's something healing going on, and it might be that very thing we were talking about of it shows you what batters you becomes your strength. Somebody may have blocked something that would have been healing if they'd, I'm not sure. Tell us about, sorry, the Knight of Swords and the Star card. They're both in air energy. Communication, in this case, healing as well. Perhaps healing communication that somebody wasn't open to. They weren't even open to the little, fairly tentative offer of love. I don't think Page of Cups was pushing their agenda. But they might have been really wanting to communicate, and it might have been blocked. Sorry, I thought I had anyway. This is communication back and forth, or flow, or a kind of energetic bombardment. So we have two cards of communication. Knight of Swords and Eight of Wands. I think somebody wants a healing communication. And this to me is about being guided where you're supposed to be or where you're not supposed to be. I mean, this is a card of movement and direction and guidance. It's almost like guided missiles, guided missives. And it's from a distance. There's this little island down here, and they're being messages are like a volley. And it might be like a volley in tennis, back and forth. That's the tennis ball. I live right across from a tennis court. I don't play, but I hear it a lot. And the pickleball is very loud. But you can hear or in ping pong. I love that sound of the ping pong. Page of Wands. Page of Wands tries to figure out where to go. That directional meaning of Wands. Taking action, finding a direction. In this conversation, maybe trying to determine, and this is a new path. This isn't how we've done it before. And I would suggest it's not about one person making a little love offer and the other person saying, "I'm not accepting it. I'm closed down. Go away." But I don't think that's the end of the conversation. I think the conversation will determine, perhaps, a path forward, a new path. And it might be this person saying, right, you don't want my little love offer? You're going to shut down on me? You know, I'll find a new path, a new person with whom I can actually communicate, with somebody where we heal each other. We're not closed off. But it looks pretty positive here because, you know, in comes Star card, ending up where you belong, you know, where Spirit is trying to guide you, trying to give you a sense of direction, both of you. A sense of direction. The willingness to discover that from a kind of Aquarian overview. It's almost like, here's the pilgrim on the path, trying to figure out which way to go. And this is like with the grain, not against the grain. Go with the flow. Being guided from this overview, I'm getting the image of, you know, when the camera is attached to a drone and there's the car down below, but you're seeing it from way high. You know, you can see more than the person in the vehicle can see. Suddenly you're panning up. That's a bit like this. It's illuminating in sword energy. It will show you. It's the guiding light. This person isn't stumbling around in the dark. You know, but it's got to be willing to discover. Oh my goodness. Boom! On Star card, Tower. Tower can go so many ways. Since it's with the healing energy of Star, I think it's a sudden revelation. You know, it's the collapse of the old way and the beginning of the new path. The collapse of, you know, something that was built on a shaky foundation, but there was this insistence, no, I'm good. This is where I stand. I'm strong in Pentacles terms. I don't budge. Well, the healing thing is the universe saying, you don't budge, really? You know, the message gets a lot louder. We'll guide you where to go, you know, like if, you know, by all means necessary. It goes from a kind of gentle overview and guidance to like blowing the top off something. This is going where you're guided to go, Star card, and this is being liberated from something that was too small. This was not where you were supposed to be. And I think it's for this character who's wanting it all to stay the same. I think a major revelation is coming in. And maybe when this conversation is had, the old way blows up and there's a new sense of direction. Away from this constricted place, you know, Four of Pentacles, into the flow. Into that slipstream feeling of not fighting the flow. Learning how page energy to go with the flow. You know, to let, in that quote we heard, to let the bell ring. to become the bell tower, the amplification of that. To let the pain hone you. Hone you. There's a truth to be told. And it sets something straight, but not straight in that linear sense. So tell us more about the path, please. The new way forward, the pilgrim's progress. Okay, again, there's like, we go from first gear, Page of Wands, into second gear, Knight of Wands. And Knight of Wands can strip the gears. You know, it goes from like, am I finding my way to like burning rubber, you know, peeling out, going fast, going passionately. There's a whole lot of heat and a whole lot of passion. And that may be, you know, blowing the top off what somebody thought was stable. Pentacles speak to stability. In this case, like pinned down. And some maybe communication comes in that like pierces that you're pinned down business. And brings some kind of epiphany about where somebody doesn't belong. And there's an attempt on the part of the universe, the guides, who want us to go to the healing place. And they're showing us how. Maybe through a conversation we have with somebody, may be kind of almost speaking for the universe. And kind of blowing somebody's mind. We have so far Scorpio. That's how I interpret Tower. You know, this dramatic change. And Aquarius, that overview, that the camera pans up so you can see where you're going. Somebody's going fast, and they're peeling, you know, they're burning rubber, fire energy. From, you know, we're full of sound effects today. Boom, overview. A lot of fire energy, things heating up. Tell us about, okay, Page of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Hangman. Pisces season. We're closing it out. And that closes out the astrological year. We're going from Pisces into Aries, from this sort of watery energy of swimmy, kind of dreamy, you know, I am holding up to figure out what I feel, into Aries. I'm going to do it. Fire energy. Do it. You know, I'm going to search it out, figure it out, intuit it. What's the path? You know, listen to the communications that come into me and move on it. Aries energy. Get there. Do it. Out of suspension. You know, the conversation certainly fires things up and would shake up Tower, this person. Become the bell tower. Well, this is sort of the bell tower. There's some resonance, you know, that like brings down something that was inherently outgrown or unstable. It's replaced with something healing. You know, it's like the light comes in. the lightning. But it's a healing. It's a universe attempting to heal through some sort of revelation. You know, the revelation. We got it in Pisces season in a kind of gentle, dreamy way, where we had the time to process the feelings. And now it's, you know, boom, it's time for the next thing. For the next thing. You know, get moving. Somebody's lighting a fire under somebody. Tell us about the block, the Four of Pentacles. What made this person not trust? Call back to new life? You know, they really wanted to just stay put. They wanted to stay in the tower. They're being blasted out of that. And maybe you both are. Maybe you were in some ways stuck on some idea of this is how it must be. This is the reality, the hard, cold reality. Well, I mean, you know, you're being called back to life. You're being called to, you know, come out of the coffin. And there is this amplification. The horn is being blown. It has to get loud enough so that these people rise up, like wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Loud and clear. It's coming in. This, you know, who blew the horn? The walls come tumbling down. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, and the walls come tumbling down. The trumpets began to sound. It really fits. The trumpets began to sound. The something, 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 and the walls come tumbling down. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho. And I can't remember, and I don't know my biblicals enough to know exactly what it is, but it's a call to new life, and it's being amplified enough to bring this thing down. Okay, tell us about Eight of, sorry, my nose is just really itchy. Eight of Wands, the communication, the conversation, the return to flow after the walls come tumbling down. You know, there's been hurt, there's been heartache, there may have been a third-party situation. That doesn't necessarily mean another person. It could be anything that comes between the connection, the potential for connection. You know, a job, a mindset, a refusal, a contraction, but it was hurtful. All the way around, there was pain. And I think that this communication addresses the pain. We have two fours here. Oh, I'm sorry, no, it's the 3 and the 4. Well, the communication addresses this blocked energy quite emphatically. Like, you know, I've got news for you. It's a little bit that way. And the news kind of explodes things. And there may be then a conversation about the heartache. And where do we take it from here? What's the new path? Somebody is, you know, not only gonna go with the flow, find that flow direction, but then, ride it. Yippee-yi-yo-ki-yay. Tell us about Knight of Swords. The communication that may be trying to shake this person out of their Four of Pentacles kind of complacency. Well, there was confusion. And somebody is attempting to clear it up with some kind of truth. It was a confusion about feelings. Somebody was taking a long time trying to process their feelings. And maybe to the point where it wasn't getting clearer. And maybe they have processed them and figured something out, had that epiphany. But now's the time to act on it. Aries season, act on it. What are you going to do about it? Get down out of your place of consideration and clear up the confusion. New moon, a time for setting intention about what you want to manifest. This is a card of manifestation in this fire energy, which is all over this read. Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, Eight of Wands. Get on with it. Talk. The universe is down with that. The universe is saying, how loud do we have to make this message? How loud does the trumpet have to blow before you wake up? Aries energy, wake up. I think somebody is trying to manifest, on this new moon, new life. A second chance, we have the space to do it now. The old thing has come down. There's room for healing. Know it. Know that we could clear up this confusion. It's a little bit like shaking somebody by their And there is a sense of, remember when I said you make the intention and then you release it? Like the dandelion, the wish on the dandelion? And then you blow it and you let the wind take it. These are sort of seeds of intention. And I think it's moving you away from, that's the intention, away from heartbreak. Into flow, into release it, release it. Stop holding on so tight. Because you can't anyway. You can't. Tower comes in and, says there's a clean slate. Got this card yesterday. It's a card of the future. Let's see. What does the future hold here? I think it holds healing. Wow. That was the card that came out yesterday and disappeared, and I'm really glad it's back again. Wheel of Fortune. The movement forward. The movement forward. On the new path, the karmic path. It's a path of discovery. Get on it. Jump on it. Out of the starting gate. On the karmic path. Right? On the path. And there may be a sense of waiting for it to begin. We've set the intention. We're waiting for something to come in. We've wanted to manifest something better. Something that will advance us. not keep us stuck. We're willing to wake up on to the next thing, you know, not backwards. We couldn't fit back into this if we wanted to, and we don't want to. The healing way is forward. Discover it. Discover the new way. Tell us more about the manifestation of a new and better way forward on a karmic, you know, being in alignment with your destiny, on the path, on the karmic path, you know, on that archetypal level path that you can see from above. There's a perspective where you can, now that things are cleared, you know, the above has been blasted open. Oh man, we got a few. This is a path that leads toward happiness, light, action taking in that Wand's energy, in the energy of fire. This is like a riding, you know, it doesn't have to be hard. Once you're in that slipstream of communication, you know, you can ride as a new, you know, that's a baby on the horse. Something coming to light. It's a revelation, an epiphany. An epiphany. But it's sort of like, get on your pony and ride. Ride, Sally, ride. This is a card of divine masculine in the sense of action taker, Aries energy, fire energy. Queen of Pentacles, it's great stability. It's like, it may be a new path. It may be something you've manifested fairly recently. You know, and it's a really positive turning of the wheel, change of events. You know, this kind of earth energy, if somebody was too stable so they were even stuck in place, the trumpets sound, and somehow there's this kind of stability now, which is like grounding yourself, finding the new place, the new path toward the new home, really. Queen of Pentacles is home, in the sense that she's on the throne there. She owns it. And she may represent, she's also a card of fertility. There's the bunny down here. Budding trees. She's all about growth, you know, growth. This forward movement. It's a pretty cohesive read. Into the light, right? Into the light, into the warmth, where things can grow. There's been a time of constriction, of non-growth, Pentacles energy. Hanging on to what you've got. Somebody was. Chariot. Card of forward movement. Forward movement. Movement. In fire energy. This is movement in Cups energy. Becoming aligned. You know, it's a card of victory, of the victory lap. of the reconciliation on an emotional level of these two mysteries. The Sphinx is a mystery. It's like, I think in a way, it's also the willingness to go, Chariot, into, to kind of carve the path and then move on it. Move on it. Passionately, one's energy. Creatively, it's a new path. It's not the old way. Pentacles speak to time. The old way, somebody may have been doing it the same way for 4 years, but the logjam is broken. There's flow. If somebody was stuck in pain, that's the thing that says the weather's about to go nuts. If somebody was stuck in pain, there's forward movement now because they've resolved their confusion, a confusion that they were trying to figure out, process the feelings, but really took a hell of a long time to do it. But it's clarifying this little gesture. And it's sort of saying, hold up, there's more to come. But first we process our feelings, and then we move forward. We move forward. The archetypal level, it changes things not only in 3D, but on that deepest level of feelings energy. It changes everything. Forward movement into happiness and warmth, into deep feelings in an aligned way, in a stable way. Somebody is, if there was a shake-up, I think one of you came through it relatively unscathed. But now there's a chance for this mutual back and forth, and it's not back and forth and like vacillating wildly, although that can be Knight of Wands energy, not dodgy, but erratic. Like, which way do I go? Which way do I go? This way. On the healing path. The universe will cooperate with you and light your way. I think both of you. And it may get loud at some point to wake you up, them up, everybody up, so that we can move forward. I love this reading. This is a great reading. Not without its troubles. It's like that thing at the beginning I was saying, twin flame, not an easy road. It's not easy. I'm surprised we don't have shadow here, except, somebody needed to be blasted out of their stuckness, their complacency, which is devil energy. And I think this is, in fact, a card of Capricorn, too. That stuck energy of, I can't move, I don't want to look at it. Look at it. Look at it from a new perspective. Another meaning of hangman. Look at it from the other guy's perspective. And I think somebody does. Take a second look, a second chance. And maybe to look at this, what was being offered before, because it was Piscean energy. It was a little dreamy. It's a little less dreamy now. It's pretty clear now. It's pretty clear, and there's a path to healing. You're guided by the universe, forward to where you're supposed to be on your karmic path. Not supposed to be. That I keep saying that, and it's really not right. It's a path of discovery. Every step of the way will open up new possibilities. New possibilities, new options, new feelings, new love. It's a pathway to great happiness, Down to clown. I'll see you next time. This was a long one.